Welcome all of you to the Vibe Camp. As I'm sure you know, it used to be that the difference between a game idea and a game app was really capital and know-how. AI coding has changed that equation. Now, as long as you have the idea, all you really need is some ambition and some time to create your app, and maybe a little patience, because getting familiar with vibe coding can be a trying experience, but very rewarding as well. And as you know, we just finished the Vibe Jam, and I would say 90% of those apps were games. The thing is, because a lot of those games were created on a desktop, they were really created for desktop browsers. And the truth of the matter is, on the Orange Games platform, mobile games get double the play that a desktop might. Even though we're coming out with we'll soon be releasing a desktop version of Orange Games, mobile games just get a lot more play. And double doesn't seem like a whole lot, but we're talking about millions of plays. At this point, the Orange Games platform has reached 8 million plays. So it's really significant. So it behooves you to create a optimized mobile version, especially for the Orange Games platform. Connor will go into what the ideal specs of your game would be for the platform.
Yes, most definitely.
And then what we want to prove here today, if you've gone to the Orange game site on mobile, and if you haven't, I will just bring that up. You will see that one of the games is Bug Me, which was developed internally by one of our coworkers. She's never had any coding experience. It's just an example to show you that really anyone can do this. Anyone can submit a game to the platform and start monetizing. So what you'll learn during these next 5 days is basic game design concepts. You'll get examples of vibe coding workflows and techniques from Paul Gotti. In later sessions, we'll go over the Orange Games platform and ID integration. There's a very easy to install SDK for the Orange Game platform, then the Orange ID integration. And then after that, we'll go into the potentially launching your own token, which could be interesting for some of you, especially for fundraising. What we expect from all of you by the end of these 5 days is that you have a game app that you can release on Orange Games and start monetizing from day one. And then the other thing we hope to do with Orange Games is really build an easy pathway for those new to crypto to participate. Games is always a great way to get people into something new. And so the first thing I want to do is introduce Goama. And Goama is our partner at Orange Web3, and they are the developers of the Orange Games platform. They have 20 partners over 18 countries, and they're getting millions of gameplays daily. But this is their first foray into Web3. The Orange Games platform is a hyper casual esports platform. So what we're doing is we're running tournaments, which are pay to play. And so everyone will there are 2 types of tournaments. There's a practice tournament where you will earn Go3 token. And that Go3 token will give you access to airdrops. If you decide to create a token for your game, a portion of that could be going to the Go3 holders, so that you have an immediate audience for your product. And then there are the paid tournaments where you will pay some Orange. 10% of that will go back to the creator. 10% will go to Orange Web3. We will use that to further incentivize players to visit your app. And then 10% will go to platform maintenance. So that actually includes hosting. You can also decide to host on your own. For example, if you, like I see Koke's in the audience, he might have frequent updates to his game. So he might want to host on his own, and that's totally viable as well. But just be aware that we are happy to host for you as well. I'm sure Kai will go into the installation of the SDK, or at least what it does. But really, it manages the tournament for you. So that includes the leaderboards. It has its own login. These tournament structure are customizable. So we'll be able to do daily, weekly, monthly tournaments and set pricing. So for that, we'd love to hear your feedback. But at this point, I think I will turn it over to Kai, unless Keel or Lala, if I've missed anything.
Let's get to
So just a couple of things. The schedule, we'll share a Notion with the details that you run through, and we'll pin that on the WhatsApp. So join the WhatsApp group so you guys can grab the schedule. And just in relation to the SDK, we are going to do a session. So today's just what game you will need to do. But on Wednesday will be the technical discussion about how to input the game SDK so it can talk to the platform into your build. So there'll be a couple of sessions on the platform. Today's more about what types of games work, and Wednesday's more the technical elements.
Right. Okay. Are you
All right.
ready?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Orange Games at 5 camp. From vibes to engagement. BPO, you can take over for the...
Yeah, just help you out because this is more on the Orange side than on the Goama side. Phil sort of covered a lot of this, but basically it's a web-based platform that's very lightweight. There's no downloads or anything required. You just open it up on any browser. It is optimized for mobile, and you'll see why. Kai will run through some of the reasons why mobile. And of course, it's just accessible via play at orangeweb3.com. When you integrate the SDK, it basically gives you access to all the features that the platform provides. So that's both with the Orange ID, which will give you the identity SP tracking. And from we will determine the token rewards, which Phil mentioned. So if anyone that's spending Orange, they get Go3, and then Go3 is used like XP to determine how much of the creator token that airdrops. We're going to do another session on that too. I think that session might be either tomorrow or Wednesday. You'll see it in the schedule, but there's another session around the token and how that economy works. But when you put in the SDK, you get instant access to all of that. It's not like you guys have to worry about all of that. It's all included. There'll also be things like leaderboards, tournaments, analytics. That's all included within the SDK. So the platform will manage all of that. So basically what's in it for vibe coders like yourselves is fast track launch. So you don't have to worry about all that back end deployment and all those things. You put in the SDK and all those features are there. The analytics, the missions, leaderboards, all these things that make games more engaging and what you can track to make your games better, that's all included. And you'll get, be able to see how many people clicked through and played your game, how long they were playing for, things like that. Of course, you also plug into the monetization aspects of being able to collect and the reward mechanisms of paying out the prizes for the tournaments. Phil described it the best. It's basically an esports tournament. Instead of AAA type titles, it's esports based around hyper casual and vibe coded games. I think that covers Orange Games. Happy to answer any questions, or we can pass over to Kai.
Great. Thank you for that. Let's move on. So before we start, a couple of quick introductions. My name's Kai. I'm actually a self-taught product manager who specializes in game design and gamification. I've been doing this for 4 years, and I've been fortunate to work at, the intersection of all these behavior design and game systems. Now, outside of work, I'm just someone who genuinely loves gaming. I've played games since I was very young, from small classic games like Pac-Man, Tetris, to super complex games like Dota 2 and World of Warcraft. Yeah. And to be honest, I've clocked over 20,000 hours across 200 titles on Steam and various platforms, which, to be honest, I'm a little bit embarrassed. I feel like, it has given me a lot of experience and knowledge about games, but sometimes I think it could be better spent on building games. I'm not here to claim that I have all the answers, but I do hope to share what's worked, what hasn't, and what I've learned helping games go from casual to competitive. And over the year, I've been fortunate to contribute to a range of exciting game projects, ranging from big brands like PepsiCo, Snickers, Razer, and spanning across multiple different sectors like e-commerce, entertainment platform, and mobile wallets. Now, one of the highlights of getting involved in these projects was helping launch a digitized board games for Dana Indonesia, a leading mobile wallet, which reached about like 1.5 million players and 5 million gameplays within just 5 days. So, I want to share all these experience with you. And so this session isn't just about theory. It's about real strategies, which are grounded in practices that Goama have adopted to help build your games that are going to be engaging and monetize the right way. Now, so without further ado, let's dive right into it. Yeah. So what makes a game tournament ready? I'll be going through a brief on the core design and tactical math for our Orange Games platform. Now, the first thing is prioritizing a seamless mobile experience. It has to be fully responsive across all mobile devices, optimized primarily for portrait modes, and assuring accessibility and ease of play. And it is also important to have an intuitive and clear gameplay. Most of the games are hyper casual, so they need to have easy to grasp mechanics like simple tap games, swipe to drag. With if things get a bit complicated, there's always option to add in a concise tutorial. Player needs to be very clear when it comes to scoring, rapid restarts. Hyper casual games tend to go for quick sessions and require a lot of visual triggers and feedbacks. Now, next on the design of the SDK, I think Pew and Phil has already covered pretty much all of it. So with SDK, it is very, very easy. Once integrated, we'll be able to share the logging scores, instant restart, all these leaderboard syncing, everything will work flawlessly with your games. Next is going to be the tournament ready checklist. This is very important. I won't go into every detail now, but I encourage you to review the complete list later. It actually highlights critical features such as progressive scoring systems, pause functionality, sound control elements that together it's going to elevate the overall player's experience. These are very important to make the users and players' experience better. Any questions so far? Okay, then moving on to engagement and monetization. I'll be walking you through some proven game types, scoring mechanics, and monetization approaches that work best in our platform's ecosystem.
I don't know. I have a question about the portrait mode. You said portrait design is better for tournament mode.
So one of the
But,
go ahead.
I can see you're very enthusiastic. Okay. What I'm trying to say is some games are made for landscape. Are those not also tournaments worthy?
So the Goama Orange platform, tournament platform, is actually preferred for portrait mode. But if you do have landscape games, we do allow it. It is very important. If you are going to be building landscape games, it is very important to include prompt or gestures that indicate the rotation of the phones for a landscape mode. Yeah. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you. Moving on to engagement and monetization. As I was saying, our goal here is to share some quick practical pointers to help you design games that are not only attractive to players, but also keep them coming back and generate revenue effectively. What drives engagement and monetization in hyper-casual tournament games? When you're designing for mobile web tournaments, there's one golden rule that I usually follow. It's make it fast and make it obvious. Quick sessions and competitive loops are important. Think like 60 to 90 seconds of repeat gameplays. These fit into micro breaks like waiting at a bus stop or between classes. These are hyper casual games, very different from AAA games where you need full immersion. So these micro breaks at times one player tends to play to earn some tokens, just relax. And it is important to have simple control games and mechanics like tap, drag, swipe. Usually no tutorial because they are very easy to grasp, but single quick pop-up tutorials does also help with the user experience. The rule of thumb is that a player should know what to do within 3 seconds of opening the game. Some of the proven formats of games are tap to score, puzzles, Endless Runner, all these type of games, these work because they balance accessibility with depth. They're easy to start, but still, you can still play for a prolonged period of time because they can be hard to master. It's not just about fun, it's about frictionless entry. When that's done right, you actually unlock the perfect foundation for monetization. The games must be fair and have a winnable outcomes. Players should be motivated to engage repeatedly, even when fast games can be frustrating. As long as the game feels fair and there's a clear path to victory, players tend to get motivated. Now, monetization flourish. Games are easy to pick up, simple controls, easy player knowing what to do within 3 seconds. Picking up to play offers a very quick pickup time. Now, let's talk about the type of games that sit on top of this foundation and drive real revenue in tournaments. Some of the top types of game that makes monetization best in the tournaments. We've seen 4 games types that consistently outperforms the rest through our experience. First is a skill-based high score games. Games like Flappy Bird clones, stackers, endless runners. They're brutally simple, but they can be very addictive. Players always think I can do better next round. Flappy Bird was such a thing back then. It's frustrating, yet it keeps players coming back thinking they can try better. These type of games creates a lot of engagement and playability. Then we've got the puzzle and track mechanics game like Time Match 3s or Drag to Sword. They feel fair. Player knows if they mess up, it's on them and not luck. And that's one they'll pay to retry. The next type of games, flex challenges, usually tap the tile, speed math, short or puzzle games, match 3 games, anything fast and precise, perfect for flash tournaments and chasing personal bests. And last but not least, it's finally the arcade classics. Now, these games generates nostalgia. These are the games that we've grown up with. Games like Pac-Man, Tetris, Space Invader here. Now, what's common across all of these games is that they reward skill and they're not chance-based. So it's very important that the games that you create should be skill-based. And this is great because when players feel in control, they are more likely to come back and spend. Yes. Next slide.
I just have a question regarding that.
Yeah, sure.
So it can't be RNG based, but there can be some randomization in your game, correct?
Correct.
For example, this dots game, the boards are randomized, right?
Which game?
The second one, dot.
Yes, the dots game. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, the boards are randomized. So every time they completed a match, it's gonna be a random sequence of dots appearing. These by types of like random RNG type of games that I'm trying to say is games that things like a claw game or Plinko. These type of games are chance based through winnings and scoring. So they're not purely skill based games like Plinkos. So I wouldn't recommend them for a tournament type because tournament requires skills and they tend to be competitive. And if you create games like Plinko that are very chance, it might feel unfair to the player in the long run. So this can create lots of frustration, and that's when actually the drop off happens.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make that clear for the participants.
Next slide. Is I would like to cover some of the different types of scoring system that help drives the tournament success. And when it comes to tournament games, scoring is everything. This is why chance-based games can tend to get in the way. And it is very clear that the players understand well-balanced and easy to grab scoring system. Why scoring system matters is, a good scoring system rewards skills and build trust and fuels replayability. The best performing formats are very, very simple and intuitive. Some of the games that follows these are Endless Runner, like they follow distance travel, measures how far the player progresses. Games like, like Tumble Runner, these are the type of scoring system that measures based on distance travel. Some of the games are using points collection, the stars, coins, tokens. So sometimes a game might involve combining all different types of scoring system to actually boost the experience. So yeah. Now the other one is time survived. This is basically when a player has a countdown timer and the player has to score the most or complete the most actions within a time frame. Their scores get accumulated and calculated based on how fast or how long that they can survive. Yeah. The other one is a combo and a streak bonus. So these are type of score systems where Candy Crush makes use of it. So every time you do multiple combos of matching, your scores get multiplied. This grants user with their feedback that adds depth and encourage masteries. So, but here's the keys. Some of the key design principle is that it requires consistency over randomness. Now, it is very important to avoid RNG in the sense that user is being rewarded randomly when it comes to like high score, since this is a tournament platform. This is to avoid confusion by players. Now, players should know why they won and how to improve next round. A clean and transparent scoring system is equal to a better competition, which is equal to a better monetization. Next. So what's the monetization that works? Once you've nailed the scoring logic, it's time to monetize the momentum. At Orange Games, we've seen 3 models that consistently deliver. One of them is pay entry. Players pay a small fee to compete for bigger prizes. The stakes makes it exciting, and that competition tension drives repeat play and direct revenue. Whether it's XP or Orange tokens or branded creator tokens, a layer token economy keeps player invested across different games, events, and throughout the platform. Most of the games are grass-based. Players tend to climb leaderboards, and it works especially well when players can visually track how far they've come or who they've beaten. And because players aren't just playing, they're chasing progress and status entity through cooperative and versus leaderboards. And the beauty of it is that our Goama SDK take care of everything. Takes care of their heavy lifting, from payments, token rewards to tournament logic. So you can just stay focused on designing games that player loves. Now, some of the best practices I would like to cover next is that what we've seen across thousands of games and millions of sessions is this. The best games don't just entertain, they teach players how to win. And clear win conditions paired with fast, skill-driven loops drive the highest retention. And it's not just about the fun, it's about feeling in control. That's why, as you can see in our graph here, one of the top games are the reflex tap games. Reflex tap game that's charged in day 1 retention and a lot of drives the most gameplay. They're quick, fair, and addictive. Some other types of games that are performing very well are arcade mini types, endless runners, and puzzle match. Now, this is a graph coming from a total of 19 million gameplay so far. And once scoring systems are transparent, like distance, combos, or point collected, players are more likely to replay. So when you layer in the difficulty that adapts to skills, a clean visual identity, and social triggers like the leaderboard, the loop becomes sticky, and this drives the gameplays. So that's all from my side. Do you have any questions so far? I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. Yes.
So I just want to add, Kai, that while you're developing your game, and we will go through this in the next session when Paul and I talk about the core loop, which is a ubiquitous game term. Just simply for now, your game loop is you take an action, you get a reward, and then you are motivated to take the action again. By adding the SDK, we are providing the motivation. We're providing that last piece. So you guys just have to focus on what that action is and what that simple reward is within the game. And then we help you monetize by providing that last motivation piece for them to keep playing. Okay. So if there are no further questions, I think we're okay to end this session. Have you guys join again in 2 hours and 15 minutes at 1 p.m. UTC. We will hold a second session with myself and Paul Gotti to go through an AI workflow that you can use. And we'll talk about the core loop, building upon what Kai has talked to us about already. That was an excellent presentation, Kai. Thank you very much.
Thank you.